You got to understand that no matter how jacked you are and how confident you feel, it's about position. And this might be a tough pill for you to swallow. It was a very tough pill for me to swallow. It was very hard for me to work for people. That's why my first career I chose as a prop trader, and I didn't have to work for anyone. I made a lot of money, but it didn't last long. And I am a university dropout. I had no skills other than trading, which were completely untransferable. So I had to talk and lie my way into a sales job, and then I became part of the corporate machine, and I fucking hated it every single day. Every fucking day, I hated being told what to do. Hated it. And but that's what I had to do to get to where I wanted to be. And I realized that fighting it, anytime I talked back, just made my life harder. Anytime I said one word that wasn't in complete agreement with my boss, it just made it harder because that contract might have well been signed in blood. He's going to assert his will, and he's going to get you to agree because the hierarchy allows for that. And he knows that he can just fire you if you don't agree. And you know that too. Okay. So I learned that alpha at work is not the smart move. The smart move is playing the good little employee with a big smile on my face for years on end while I stacked my cash, built my businesses. Okay. It took me fucking 4 businesses to get out, for Christ's sake. I was doing that for 7 or 8 years, smiling in the face of people that I hated, eating shit from my clients, eating shit from my boss, and working 12 hours a day, 8 hours a day on my job, 4 hours a day on my business. I banked 30, 40 grand, and I did that for years on end. And that's what got me the fuck out because I was playing a different game. I was playing for position. I was playing for position of owner, leader, alpha of my own business, and I was playing for freedom in the game of life. Okay? And I got that way not by being alpha, but by being smart. What got me here, talking to you now in Thailand, completely fucking free, owning my own business, is through controlling my primitive alpha instincts. Okay? Got to understand how important control is. Control is fucking everything, especially in the modern world where one little mistake, one little time you don't control yourself, get into a fight at the bar, that could be it for you. You could be dead, in jail, sued, who knows what. Control, control, control every single day is so fucking important, guys. Especially important if you have primitive instincts. If you're a primitive alpha guy watching this, it's even more important for you. Okay? Now, I might not be the most primitive guy in the world. I'm not as primitive as a guy like War Machine, so it's easier for me to control myself. And looking at my baby face here, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm 34 years old and I still have this fucking baby face. Okay, I might not be the most intimidating guy in the world. I am when I get angry, but just looking at me, is probably not the most intimidating guy in the world. However, I do have strong alpha instincts. Okay, I got them from my dad, who was an alcoholic womanizer who left my mom when I was born. My great grandfather was a gangster. My mom has a bad temper. I have a bad temper. And a couple of those characteristics that I listed for why you shouldn't emulate primitive alpha males applied to me too. Drug addiction, relying on alcohol, money mismanagement, not being able to hold down a job. In my youth, all those characteristics applied to me as well until I got my shit together and made control an absolute fucking priority and made being a player in the game of life a priority. Okay, I had a terrible temper in school. I'd argue over anything. I didn't listen to my mom's and teacher or my mom and my teachers. All that dumb shit that little boys like to do. But I quickly realized that that shit doesn't fly in the real world. In the real world, that stuff is very, very has a very negative impact on your life. Okay, in the real world, you got to be in control all the time, especially when you have alpha instincts. Okay, my alpha instincts and my drive got me here to some degree, but more so, it was the restraint of those alpha instincts that enabled me to, get to where I wanted to be in a knowledge-based economy. Okay, and it's not just about the moral angle. Fighting someone, hurting someone. It's not that just the moral angle or the spiritual angle. It's also the angle that it's just not a smart move, and it fucks up your game plan. It fucks up your game plan of success in the game of life. The successes I've had come from controlling those base instincts and transmuting them into positive outcomes. And the more I control myself and the more I transmute those rough, primitive, basic instincts, the better I do in all aspects. In relationships, more people like me. The better I get along with my mom, the better I get along with the girls in my life, the more kind and compassionate I'm able to present to you guys. All that stuff it has made very, very big differences in my life, being able to transmute that powerful drive into living with positivity. Okay, it's very, very important. And I want to make sure you understand that who I am talking to you now, the guy without a boss, I'm here because I put in the work and I built a business where I answer to no one. Okay, I'm here because I focused on position instead of trying to act like an alpha super stud at work. And now I get to act as alpha as I want to. In fact, I built an entire business around a website and a YouTube channel that focuses on masculinity and helping men. But this business only exists because I played my way out of a bad hand using my brain. Okay, not using my primitive alpha instincts, using my brain and being a player in the game of life. And now I get to indulge my alpha instincts. Now I'm the fucking alpha man, right? There's no one telling me what to do. The only time I have to check myself is, if I'm at a bar and there's some thug there, which I don't go to those bars, or I'm dealing with an immigration officer or a policeman and I'm super, super nice. In fact, most of the time, I'm super, super nice because that's how I want to be. Because I have position now and I can act as alpha as I want to, but I understand that acting alpha is a luxury. I only get to act alpha because I structure my life in a way that I don't have anyone telling me what to do. And that freedom came from playing my hand into the position I wanted. Okay? Being alpha, acting alpha is a luxury. It's a luxury when you're not around people who can commit economic or physical violence to you. It's a luxury that you can only indulge when you've devoted yourself to the position of not having to deal with those people, when you've removed violent people from your life, when you don't go to bars where thugs hang out, when you avoid the police, when you get yourself out of the workforce, when you remove domineering or violent women and girlfriends from your life. When you focus on the position in all of those aspects, then you get to be alpha as fuck because you don't have anyone challenging you, right? That's what you got to understand. Being alpha is a luxury. Until you get position, you got to play you got to play the fucking game. You got to play the role with a smile on your face. You got to do whatever it takes. Smile to your client, smile to your boss, smile to your parents, whoever it is, until you get to where you want and you get to do whatever the fuck you want. Okay? So that's very, very important for you guys to understand. Lastly, don't think position is just about business. Okay? I know I talked a lot about business in this, but it extends to every aspect of your life. And in part 2 of this series, I'm going to show you exactly why position is so important and how to play it in all aspects of your life with women, social circle, all that good stuff. But for now, I just want you to meditate on the idea of liberating yourself from these unproductive concepts.